So, what is my current struggle on my spiritual path? Hey guys, I'm sitting here on the back deck on a magnificent day. It's just stunning outside. And they had called for thunderstorms all afternoon, but we didn't have a single one. So I'm rather pleased with with that. Got a chance to hang out in the yard a little bit. Wanted to hop on and talk about this because this has been something I personally been thinking about a lot lately. Um, we all are on our own individual spiritual path. That's what my mom taught me. Spirituality is a personal journey. And I talk frequently about the idea of stripping away, stripping away the beliefs of my past and coming down to just being in the I am moment, just being in the here and now. And my personal biggest struggle is right now is actually vocabulary, definitions. Um, I don't like labels. I don't like definitions of who I am or what I am. Recently I did that video on woke just because it's a label that's being used. Um, People ask me all the time if I'm Christian, and I'm not a Christian, but I'm also not a Buddhist. I'm also not a Hindu. I'm also not a Muslim. I am none of those things. I have no religion. The closest definition I would find would come from the Dalai Lama. My religion is simple. My religion is kindness. But I think it's more nuanced than even that phrase. My belief has gotten to the point where people will say this, or they'll say, "John, you think this," and it doesn't touch what I think, because my thoughts are really getting to the point of being undefinable. I believe we are all one with everything. I believe that we all have the capacity to love, and that every one of us is dealing with our relationship to love through the various levels of fears here in the physical plane. I believe wholeheartedly that every one of you and I are connected. I believe that we are truly in this I am oneness of God. And in being in that I am oneness of God, there is another facet to this of being the creator of the experience. Um, People have often said, "John, you should write a new Bible." I won't ever do that because I don't want a definition. They are a John of Newian. If I wrote a book like that, somebody would make it the John of Newian religion. There are people now who are already starting to make Edgar Cayce a religion and Dolores Cannon a religion, starting to say that they're infallible. And um, I would never want to be one of the people who has that sort of following, because I don't want followers. My whole goal in life is to help people wake up to their own oneness of God, their own divinity within themselves. And that can be undefinable. People want a definition that they can say, "I'm a blank." Well, I'm none of it. Um, One of my favorite lines in the movie Gandhi says, "I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Hindu." He said he's all of them, because he was saying he was one with them all, one with God, one with the source. And when it comes down to definitions, the definitions themselves are limiting. You know, to be a Christian means you are a follower of the Christ. And that also means that you have chosen that there's only the one way. Now, some Hindu might believe their way is the only way, and Buddhist might think his way is the only way. I cannot tell you how many people who have made negative comments about videos I've made about meditation because their way was the only way. Um, and they'll say things like, "You know nothing about meditation. You're an idiot," and all those horrible things. And I'm like, I found my way. But the interesting thing about it is that my biggest struggle right now is is expressing what my beliefs really are, because I say things with more in stories and um, allegories, and using quotes of others and showing that these quotes match other different religions. And so I'm coming at it from the perspective of these are all the validating factors of my belief, but my belief has no definition. So when I look at my own personal struggle is conveying my belief. You know, I think it's really simple. I think it's so simple, a definition would make it too complex. Uh, so simple that to say it was one method, modality, or technique, right? I'll say, people hear me say, "Thank you, God, for the blank I am receiving," and people say, "Give me your prayer formula." Well, that's not a formula. That's just the way I pray. It's just the way I declare things in my life. That's a completely present moment statement. Just the way I do it, right? It doesn't matter how you do it. The only thing that matters is the belief. So I don't want to give my formulas per se. I don't want to give my techniques, my methods, modalities, because none of them matter. The only thing that matters is the belief. And so, people would love me to create a structure. People have told me to build a church. People have told me, all these different things. And I'm like, I'll never do any of those things because it's totally antithetical to what I'm talking about. And so for me, my personal struggle is truly conveying simply being love. Because simply being love. It's not the be love religion. I'm not a belovian. I'm just simply being the pure essence of love in my life for me. And it works for me. The people who get mad at me because I don't meditate the right way or that I don't believe Jeshua was the Christ or that I like to eat meat, you know, the people get mad at me for that. My one true caveat to all of it is I'm living a happy, joyful life, and you're just reaching out and saying nasty, horrible things and slandering me. Whose way is working? I'm happy. You're not. I think mine's doing all right. So when it comes down, and I'm not trying to complain about that, but when it comes down to my own personal thing is it literally is the vocabulary. It's figuring out how to uh, effectively convey what I believe. I love when I see people, watch a few of my videos and then somebody will say, "Oh, today I got it." Right? Because I'm just sitting here, I'm coming from stories and telling tales and showing this pathway that I personally struggle to define because of the fact that I don't want to give it a definition. And I don't want to give it a definition. I want people to just find that love within themselves and be that love within themselves. And I think that's a good struggle to have. Who's to have the struggle of not being divine why you're so happy. you know, that means you're just happy at your core. And so to me, that's pretty lovely. Um, but somebody asked me this question the other day and I really thought about it. I said, what's the biggest struggle you have with your spiritual journey? And so I really thought about it. What is my biggest struggle? And oddly enough, my biggest struggle is vocabulary. It's literally being unable to put a word to things, mainly because I think the second I put a word on it, I've limited the experience. Anyway, I just wanted to share this because somebody asked the question. I thought it was an interesting topic, so I thought I'd share. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.